After years of creating self-funded cinematic drone videos to catch DJI's attention, I finally got the call. After all the chase, all the waiting, every filmmaker's favorite tool is right here, right on my desk, right in front of me. This was me exactly 1 year ago today. Every day, I wanted to scream from the back of my lungs, DJI!
So it's true they say that sound travels slow, because it took DJI a whole full year to hear me screaming from the top of my lungs on top of that mountain. And I made that video 1 year ago today when I was finally done chasing after my favorite brand, DJI. If you haven't got a chance to see that video, link right up here and go check it out. Now, if you're out here creating content and you're trying to get DJI's attention and nothing seems to be working, I suggest to find the closest mountain near you and climb that mountain and scream from the top of your lung. And I'm telling you, within a year or two, you're probably gonna get the call, because for me, 3 years doing everything I could to try to get their attention. Nothing worked, but as soon as I went on top of that mountain, well, not necessarily as soon as, but took within a year until they called me. So I suggest that this might work for you as well. Now, it did for me, and to celebrate this, driving back to the same location, I wanna tell you the story of how this whole thing came together, all right? It's funny, I actually came here 3 years ago and I created a drone video. I think it was one of my first or second videos that I created for YouTube. Never thought 3 years later I actually would be making a video for that specific brand. So here we are, and I want to tell you the story of how this whole thing came about, okay? First and foremost, let's fly this drone. So I think it was around last month, I think a month and a half ago, I got 2 surgeries on my kidney stones, and it wasn't the best time of my life, to be honest with you. But it's funny how the Almighty works, because whenever I'm feeling my worst, you know, He throws me something. He throws me like a life kind of saver, you know. And funny thing is, I got the call from DJI, the call that I've been waiting for quite some time. Now, I wasn't gonna just go in my backyard and film something just for the heck of it, you know, with the drone. For the past 4 launches of DJI drones, 4 or 5 launches, I applied for permits to fly in Rome. I went to Istanbul for the Mini 3. For the Avata, I went to Spain, and I went to the Dolomites for the Air 3. And for the Air 3S, I wasn't just gonna do it in my backyard. I know that, and I think DJI knew that. And when it comes to that, it all comes to inspiration. And with inspiration, luckily, I had just finished watching the series Ripley, and this series just blew my mind. Just the cinematography of it, just the location, the Atrani, just blew my mind. And so the problem was Rafa couldn't make it due to some personal problems, but another reason that I wanted to go down the Amalfi Coast, because Rafa has a friend who happens to live in Amalfi Coast, who's a content creator, a drone pilot, and he has experience with the whole area. So that was another reason other than Ripley series for me to want to, you know, take this DJI project down there. But there was a few problems ahead of me. And one of those problems was that there was no budget. And the second part was that there was not enough time. And by time, I mean, I had like a week before I go, and the drone was supposed to come on Friday, for example, and my flight was on Saturday. And what ended up happening was that the drone got stuck in customs, so I had to reschedule my flight. Long story short, I get the drone on Monday, and I fly out, and I arrive to Naples, and by this time, I hadn't even looked at the weather, not even once. I get there, and I look at the forecast, and all I see is rain in front of me.
So I just got to Naples, and this place is chaos compared to Germany. I got a train to catch to Salerno, about an hour and a half. And I'm gonna meet up with my man, Federico, who is gonna be my main guy helping me film this thing, all right? Let's go catch a train and I'll see you there. This is Federico.
Hi.
A super talented videographer, and I am blessed to be working with him on this project. So I asked for some Napolitan pizza, but apparently Napolitan pizza doesn't exist here in
Salerno, no.
Salerno. So this is the special cake of Atrani with lemon inside. Pasticciotto. So good morning, everybody. We are here in beautiful Atrani in the Amalfi coast, and I flew all the way from Bonn, Germany to come here to give you some beautiful drone shots. I could have done this at home, but I came here. Let's wait for this car to go by. How are you?
Home point updated.
So we came here. I could have done this in Bonn, but I came all the way over here to give you this view. So enjoy it. You might as well enjoy it, okay? So this is the DJI Air 3S first flight.
Man, literally the last time I flew a drone was last year when I flew with the Air 3 in the Dolomites. No kidding. And I knew that my flying skills were a bit rusty. Now this drone's weight is almost identical to the Air 3. I think it's about 20 grams lighter. So it pretty much felt the same flying it. And I just wanted to get it up in the air, try a few camera moves, and get rid of that ring rust, if you will. Now I know you're down to look at the footage. Let's go back to the Airbnb because I want to show you my first impression when I look at the footage for the first time. All right, so this is the first time I'm gonna put the SD card from the footage of the Air 3S. And I wanted you guys to be here with me when I have a look at the footage, the 1-inch sensor footage for the first time, all right? So right here, without even being graded, I think I like it. All right, first let's convert it to Rec 709. I'm gonna add a color space transform, input color space DJI D gamut, input gamma DJI D log, color space output Rec 709, and let's try the output gamma 2.4. I think it's a little too bright. Let me put it to 2.2, and I definitely have to bring down the highlights. Under the qualifier, I'm gonna bring down the lows to 65 and make it soft about 20. I'm just gonna pull down some of these highlights. And then I'm just gonna adjust my primaries. Nothing fancy, pretty quick, just to give it a look that I want. And at the end, I'm just gonna go ahead and add one of my LUTs that I will leave a link for you guys in the description to check out. And let's have a look. With some basic color correction. I think first impression, I really like what I see. But this is what it looks like in the Ripley look, right? So now let's hear Federico's reaction.
This is the Mavic, the Air 3S.
Yes.
Oh.
Looks good, huh?
Crazy.
Pablo, no?
Mamma mia, no, proprio mamma mia. It's the same to Mavic 3.
Very similar.
Yeah. Mamma mia.
Now I was making a cinematic drone video and I wanted to have a cinematic intro, kind of a little bit of story to it, where I'm sitting in a cafe in Atrani, and that's when I get the call from DJI. Okay, now we have the shot where I'm reading and then the phone rings and I look at the phone. So you don't go to the phone, you stay on me. Just your face. And we were able to pull it off. If you haven't seen it, make sure to watch the cinematic drone of Atrani with the DJI Air 3S. So the next scene was taking place on a yacht from 5 to 8 p.m. We have to go out to the dock in Minori to board the yacht. Now this was the first time when I got to see the drone perform and really got some nice shots to showcase the 1-inch sensor of the Air 3S. I also saw some footage of the 3X really for the first time, and it blew my mind away because I'm personally a big fan of longer lenses in drones, even though we don't get a depth of field, but still that whole parallax effect with the background moving, there's something special about it that I really like. And what was surprising to me, that the quality of the 3X was almost identical to the 1X camera, which is a 1-inch sensor, and the 3X is a 1-inch 1/3. I mean, you'd be the judge of that yourself, but I was pretty much blown away.
I've been on boats before, but I've never felt sick like this. I almost threw up a few times, and I had to sit at the back of the boat, so I wasn't inside, but we made it. We got some shots. I would say I'm 80% happy with whatever we got, but it is what it is. Tomorrow morning, back at it again. The boys did an amazing job. This thing was not possible without these two behind the camera. I'll say that many times. Grazie mille. Arrivederci.
Ciao.
I know we're here to work, but at the end of the day, we're in Italy. So pizza margarita is on the list. Let's go. Yum, whichever you.
Man, I'm telling you, it is so hard to maintain a diet down in Italy. I did not see a single person with a six-pack. The food is just unreal.
Che le passo buonanotte danno. Facci vicini Federico.
Now, we were shooting only for 2 days in Atrani, and the second day, I wanted to get a scooter because that's what you have to do when you go down there. So we rented one, and we were able to get some nice shots with this scooter, and that was that.
One of the features that this drone has that I'm in love with, is the omnidirectional sensors in low light. And the truth of the matter is, to be honest with you, like, you might know me as like this drone guy, but I'm not a big fan of flying drones just because it makes me uncomfortable. Look, I'm not that, super experienced, or I wouldn't say experienced because I have a lot of experience, but I'm not that relaxed guy who kind of flies the drone like my friends in Istanbul. These guys flew their drones like a kilometer away from them, at night. I'm not that guy. I get nervous when I fly my drone. And one of the great things about this drone is got sensor when it's low light. And that just gives you this comfort that I've never had. And that's why I really call it the best drone that's come out of DJI. I'm not getting paid to make this review, to be honest with you, but that's just what I love about it. With the 1-inch sensor, I can match it to my camera, and with this new sensor option, it just makes everything so much better. Now I'm gonna have to wrap this up, and I wanna show you one trick on how to color grade these footages, okay? So in DaVinci Resolve, the color space transform, okay? You put it in, and you go to DJI, and the second option is DJI D-Lock, Rec 709, and for the gamma, you gotta go to 2.2 instead of 2.4, because the 2.4 is just a little bit too bright and saturated. I better get out of here before I catch a cold. Some of you guys know I've been on a diet all year, but when you come to Italy, it's a different story. And lemon from Amalfi Coast is something else, and this is their special dessert, so I'm gonna try it. We're gonna see. Mamma mia.